The first time in nearly a decade, an American president stood in the Great Hall of the People as a state guest of China. Donald Trump arrived in Beijing on May 14, 2026, the first U.S. presidential state visit to China since his own first term in 2017. The city prepared with choreographed pageantry, honor guards, children waving flags, a banquet table set for rivals who call themselves friends. Behind the ceremony, the stakes could not have been higher. Trade, technology, Taiwan, and the burning question of Iran's chokehold on the world's oil supply, all of it waiting in that gilded hall. Throughout 2025, Washington and Beijing waged an economic war the world had not seen since the 1930s. Trump imposed tariffs on Chinese goods that at times exceeded 140%. Beijing retaliated swiftly, restricting exports of rare earth minerals essential to semiconductors, electric vehicles, and weapons systems. American farmers lost their largest soybean market overnight. Supply chains shuddered across continents. Then, in February 2026, the Supreme Court struck down Trump's sweeping tariff powers as unconstitutional, and the trade war lost its sharpest teeth. Tensions cooled, but the scars remained. Beneath the headlines about tariffs and summits lies a quieter, more structural battle, one being fought in mines and laboratories, not boardrooms. China controls nearly the entire global supply of rare earth elements, the 17 metallic elements essential to mobile phones, laptops, electric vehicles, and the guidance systems of modern weapons. When Beijing restricted rare earth exports in 2025, the message was unmistakable: cooperate, or we will switch off your supply chain. Notably absent from the White House's summit readout was any mention of China's rare earth export controls, a silence that spoke louder than any statement. Xi Jinping told Trump directly, "Taiwan is the most important issue in the entire US-China relationship. If it is handled properly," Xi said, "the bilateral relationship will enjoy overall stability. Otherwise, the two countries will have clashes, and even conflicts, putting the entire relationship in great jeopardy." Taiwan independence and cross-strait peace are, in Xi's words, as irreconcilable as fire and water. Trump, for his part, told reporters he made no commitment either way on Taiwan, a studied ambiguity that Beijing views with deep suspicion, and Taipei watches with anxious attention. The Iran conflict did not stay in the Middle East. Its consequences rippled directly into the room where Trump and Xi sat in Beijing. China and Iran signed a 25-year strategic partnership in 2021. Beijing buys between 80 and 90% of Iran's oil annually. When the Strait of Hormuz was closed, it wasn't just American gasoline prices that spiked. It was the entire architecture of global energy markets. Trump came to Beijing with an implicit ask: use your influence with Tehran. Secretary of State Rubio was more direct. He told reporters, "I hope the Chinese tell Iran what it needs to be told, that what you are doing in the Strait is causing you to be globally isolated." Trump did not travel to Beijing alone. He brought 13 of America's most powerful corporate chiefs, Apple's Tim Cook, Tesla and SpaceX's Elon Musk, Nvidia's Jensen Huang, BlackRock's Larry Fink, and Boeing's Kelly Ortberg. Their presence signaled the summit's practical ambition: less ideology, more commerce. U.S. officials claimed China agreed to purchase American agriculture and energy products, and up to 200 Boeing jets, though no official text was released. Analysts described this as a pivot toward a business-first relationship, setting aside the ideological confrontations of 2025 in favor of pragmatic areas of common interest. Xi Jinping offered Trump a framework, constructive strategic stability. It is a phrase designed to sound reassuring while committing to very little. The summit produced warm words, a few purchasing agreements, and a plan for Xi to visit Washington in September. It did not resolve the Taiwan question. It did not end the rare earth standoff. It did not produce a lasting trade deal. China emerged from 2025 in a position of relative strength. America's attention is divided. Its tariff weapon has been blunted by the Supreme Court. Its alliances in Asia are watching closely. When cooperation benefits both and confrontation harms both, as Xi said, the logic of partnership seems irresistible. And yet, history suggests the dragon and the eagle are never far from the next clash. That concludes The Dragon and the Eagle. Thank you for watching.